Would you say that the growth of your business has not only been in the number, but in the size of the deals, the properties that you're looking at, investors, the money that you're looking for, all that kind of stuff?
With each deal and each year, I'm getting sharper and more specific in what I'm looking for. I think a lot of people, when they jump into flipping,
Yeah.
they've watched a few shows, and they think that let's buy a house and gut it down to the studs and put it all back together. And that's great for social media or for a TV show, but not good for reality. So I actually started doing the big heavy flips like that and quickly found out that you can make as much money doing an easy flip, which is more paint and carpet,
Yep.
in cabinets rather than gutting the whole thing. So I started off doing the heavy lifts, and then now I pass on the heavy lifts just because I can do. There's enough opportunity out there to not have to do such a heavy lift on each project. And in order to do the scale that we're trying to do, we try to stick to lighter flips. But yeah, I mean, we've done it all and realizing now there's easier ways to do the same thing.
Can you give us a breakdown of your business today? Maybe some numbers in terms of properties, deal sizes lately, that kind of thing?
So we just tipped over $1 million of private funds borrowed from private investors. So that's kind of a milestone. But we have about, let's see, I think 85 rental units that we own in our own portfolio. We have a management company that manages those, as well as some properties for other investors. And then we're licensed agents as well. We do a fair share of helping clients buy and sell, as well as invest if they want to buy a rental property, or if they want to buy their own flip or sell their primary. We help with all of those things as well. So over the last maybe 3 years, I think we've done, let's see, maybe $30 million worth of real estate transactions on the brokerage side. And then over the last year, we've probably bought and sold 40 units in and out of our portfolio constantly. Sometimes a really good deal comes up that we'll buy and we don't want to necessarily hold it, but because of circumstances, we have to hold it for a little while. Typically, that means we're buying from a tired landlord who has bad tenants. So we buy always from sellers that have some sort of motivation or a problem we can fix. So if it's a tenant, for example, we buy the property, we help the tenants relocate if necessary, fix the property up, and then once it's cash flowing positively, we can put it back out on the market and sell it. So we're constantly evaluating our portfolio and figuring out, which properties we can get rid of and roll the money into something bigger and better, and which ones we want to hold as kind of long-term generational plan for my family and for our business.
Tell us about how you find these deals. I think everybody wonders, okay, it seems like you're finding profitable things. How do you find that? How has that process evolved over the last 10 years of you when you started to where you are today, of how you identify these and gotten more efficient at that?
So that was the tricky part. In 2008, everything was a deal. Everything was exposure, and there was a lot of opportunity. But through the years, I mean, it's kind of difficult. The average person thinks that you start on the MLS. I mean, there's good deals on the MLS. I just bought one, or I'm closing on one 10 days that I found on the MLS. So there's still good deals, but the MLS is where all the competition is. And so if you can get off the MLS and not buy through agents and try to buy off market or go direct to seller, that's a really good option. So for a while, I was doing what's called wholesaling. And for anyone that's not familiar with that, that is where you market to find some sort of motivation. So typically you buy a list. Maybe it's a landlord who's owned a property in a different state, or maybe there's all sorts of ambulance chasers. You can send a list of recent divorce couples, you can send letters to recently deceased people, to probate. There's lots of different lists you can mail. But so that wholesaling is you find a motivated seller, you get the property under contract, and then you sell that property or that contract to someone else. You find the deal, let's say, for $25,000, and then you find an investor that wants to flip that house for 30 and buy it from you for 30,000. So the wholesaler makes that $5,000 in between. That works. There's a lot of people doing that as a full-time business, but it's very transactional. So as soon as you do all the work, you find the deal, you close it, you get paid, and then you got to start over. I'm familiar with wholesaling, and we've done it, and we do still do some marketing to direct to sellers. But we pivoted probably last year, and now we buy from wholesalers instead of being the wholesaler. So we're paying fees out to other people to bring us deals. But because of the volume that we do, we're able to sometimes get first dibs on some of those deals because they know that we can close and we can close quickly. So a lot of my deals come from wholesalers. They'll get a deal under contract. They'll send it to me. I can evaluate it. And then if I think it's a good deal, I'll send it out to my investors list to see if anyone wants to fund it. And then once I get a commitment from an investor, moving forward with the due diligence process, inspecting it and coming up with our quotes. And if everything works out, we typically can close rather quickly, just a couple weeks after sending it out to our investor list.
You've kind of established these relationships with wholesalers to be able to find ones you trust, ones you know are good at finding the deals. And that's kind of, in a sense, they're finding the deals for you a lot of the time now.
Yeah, yep. And also intentionally, I established myself as an expert in my market by reading or by leading our local real estate investors group. So we have a Facebook group, which is about 2,500 members, and then we have a couple monthly meetings that I lead. And so kind of by being the face of that organization, a lot of new wholesalers and new investors will come and they don't know where else to pitch a deal or to who else to partner with. So they come to me and then I can kind of get first dibs on some of those deals that way as well.
Is that investing group open to anyone or the public?
Yeah, it's free. We meet monthly, and there's a Facebook group, which is where I share all the events. But yeah, it's free to join. If anyone's interested in real estate, it's a really good spot to get in and just, you can read posts from other people. You can get recommendations for contractors and plumbers and that type of thing, as well as, just read through other people's experiences and stories on, what's working and what's not.